we still waiting on people coming from sessions? Can we have the kids from Lamont come up? They're going to be passing out stickers for your computers if you want one. Just find a kid from Lamont. They also have window clings for your car. They're super cool. Highly recommend you get one. If you guys want a window clean for your car, you're going to have to come up and get one. Are we still waiting on some people? Okay.
Alright, so it's a really big privilege and honor that I get to introduce somebody who I've known since I was like this tall. And it's just been amazing being able to look up to her and seeing all that she's done. And you guys saw her video earlier of speaking at the UN. And it's just been amazing to have her as a role model and somebody to watch and look up to. So give a warm welcome to Mr. Ritter's daughter, Bailey.
I know, Claire and I were just like reminiscing because we have like weird Facebook photos together to where like, you must have been like 2. Like you looked so small. But yeah, I've known a lot of you for a really long time. Even though I'm just also a super young person myself. I'm just gonna sit here if that's cool. Like, there's no need for me to be up there, I don't think. We're all friends, we're all like chilling and having a good time today. Are you guys having like an awesome time today? Can I just say actually how jealous I am that this is like actually how you get to spend your day? I wish I could spend my entire day just chatting with the coolest people on this planet, and you guys are literally doing that right now, so beyond jealous. But yeah, like Claire said, my name is Bailey. If you have heard my last name, that's because I am a daughter of Mr. Ritter. But and I really stick to that, right? I'm just like any of you, really. I put my pants on the same way as all of you. I live my life. I love tacos and pizza. But I get to do the coolest thing on this planet, and that's to spend my entire day working with young people and dreaming up some of the biggest and boldest ways that we can just leave a better planet than what a lot of us found it. I mean, I know a lot of you are young. I'm 23, in case you wanted to know that. But even the planet that I found, when I first kind of took those steps, it's not the planet I would have wanted, right? And we've come to realize that there are so many things happening around the globe that are potentially not how we would like to pass them on to our children. And so I just really, I'm jealous. I implore all of you for spending your day today thinking about these issues, because I was just telling your teachers that I don't know if any of you realize truly, and so I spend my day, I guess I should tell you what I do. I've grown up. Somebody asked me today, they're like, oh, so like how old are you? 15, 16? No, I have graduated college. I have a big girl job. So I worked for the Ocean Project. And so what I do is help plan World Oceans Day. Anybody, I will give you $1 if you can tell me what day World Oceans Day is. Literally anyone. Shout it out.
July 17th.
Ooh, no. Well, your name's Paul, right? Paulie? What'd you say? You're like burning. You're on fire. Oh, you're far. That was too far.
September 25th.
You just went under the ice cap. You are so cold. It's June 8th. June 8th is World Oceans Day. And so this day, World Oceans Day, is like Earth Day. How many of you knew there were people behind Earth Day? Okay, a couple. But there are actually people who have to work to plan Earth Day for all of you to celebrate it. And so I do that for the ocean. But I do more than that. So I travel the world educating and doing different workshops with young people, and teaching them about the things that you guys learned today. So I talk about everything from policy and how to talk to your local decision makers to how do we actually clean up all of the junk and plastic that's in our ocean. And so I interact with about probably 3,000 to 4,000 young people a year doing what you guys did today. And it's the coolest, I say it's the coolest job ever because it reminds me of why we do what we do. It's because all of you, for some reason, have this place in your heart that you think of when you think of the planet that gives you warmth and joy. I mean, who has that special place? that they just love, that they wouldn't want anyone to step on, pollute, that they are here today to protect. Yeah, all of you have that place. And that's why I decided to go into the field that I did. But I think, I hope you all know that all of the conversations that I have with both heads of state, with government officials, with CEOs at different companies. So right now I work a lot with Procter & Gamble. And so what they do is they make all of the materials that are Head & Shoulders, Herbal Essence, Dove, they make all of those products. And so I'm talking with all of these people and they're wondering the same thing. How can we actually reverse the damage that has been done to our planet? And that's this. That's protecting 30% of the planet by 2030. And what that means is that scientists across the world have agreed that that is it. That is one way all of us can do our part to making sure that the trajectory that we're on stops. Because there's a lot of doom and gloom. There's a lot of things that are scary out there that the media talks about, that our friends and family talk about. And scientists right now all agree that 2030 is the year that we need to and should have protected 30% of the planet. But how many people feel that's super overwhelming? Raise them, because it is. It is overwhelming. That is a huge amount. Do you guys actually know what 30% of the planet is? So much of the planet. And so that's overwhelming. And I totally understand that. And I'm here, I guess, and really want to bring it all home by providing, I think, the 3 biggest lessons that I've learned. And I've been doing this a long time, and I promise you, it's going to get harder before it gets easier. But I do hope that these 3 things that I've learned will help you along the way and kind of make those roadblocks a little bit easier to get over. So the first thing and the biggest thing I always tell young people is that the responsibility of protecting our entire planet, of protecting 30% of the planet, does not live within each of you. It should not make a home in each of you. Yeah, we all have the responsibility to do something, to put our pants on each day and go, I'm gonna do the most for the planet. But it shouldn't live within you. And I'll give you an example of a time it lived within me. 3 weeks ago, I went to the grocery store like a normal adult, and I got groceries, and the person who was bagging my groceries put it all in plastic. And I started to cry. I literally cried in front of the poor cashier, in front of the young man who was bagging my groceries. I started to weep, like, weep, not even just like a silent tear. Like, I was like weeping in front of him, and he thought I was like, I don't know what was wrong. But I had felt in that moment so much guilt for having 3 plastic bags that I started to cry at the grocery store. And then I realized that doesn't live within me. Making sure that our oceans, that our communities are clear from plastic, that all doesn't live within me. That lives in our government, that lives in corporations who have a responsibility to us as consumers to listen to what we need. And that's a world free of plastic. That's a world free of all of the contamination that we see. That does not live within each of you. Yes, we have a responsibility, but please don't cry at the grocery store. Do something about it that demands higher from the people above, because they're the ones who largely have that responsibility, and it should largely live within them, not any of you. The other thing that I most recently just kind of learned, but also have been, more forward about articulating, is the fact that I'm so excited that there's so many people in here, because that means a small part of you cares about this planet, and that's like the best thing ever to me. But that's not all that you guys are as humans. You're not all environmentalists first and foremost. How many of you are in sports? Yeah, sports. How many people are have jobs? No. How many people just have activities they like knitting or video games or yeah, all of you, all of you, please raise your hand. That is great. That means you're humans. We don't need more Gretas, right? Who looks up to Greta? I look up to Greta. But we don't need more of her. We don't need more, I don't know, who are some of your role models? Steve Irwin? We don't need more Binti. She's my forever hero. We don't need more of them. If you want to be them, if you want to do what they do it, please. But we need more all of you who have everything else that they care about, video games, being a doctor, being a dentist, building roads. We need more people like that who think about the environment too. That's something that took me a really long time to understand. I thought I had to be kind of the Greta, right? The highest speaking all over the world, sailing in a sailboat, the most intense environmentalist if I was gonna make an impact. And then I realized impact happens when you guys continue to do the things you love, but think about the environment too. And so I implore you to do and go to college and study and hang out after school, doing the things you love as long as they don't harm the environment. And if you can take that extra step to do something for the environment that includes the things that you love, my gosh, you've hit the jackpot. That's what you should be doing for the rest of your life in everything that you do. And sometimes that's not always told to us. And then the last thing I guess that I would say that I've learned is it's about, and don't take for granted the small things that you can do. My favorite, I know you guys saw me speaking at the UN, and that's such a highlight of my entire life. But it's not the best thing I've ever done. The best thing I've ever done is talking to people like you, educating them about the issues, talking about, who knows what a bidet is? Bidets are so cool. If you don't know what a bidet is, go home and Google it, because I'm trying to install one in my apartment, and my landlord is being really not nice about me having a bidet. But those are my favorite things to talk about. I've spoken all over the world, and that's really awesome. But when I can have a conversation that makes anyone go, oh wait, I think I'm gonna do that. I think I can do that. I think I have the ability to do that myself. Those are the best things I've ever done. Because it's about the small things. It's about the very small things that each of you can stand up and wake up every single day going, yeah, I'm gonna do that for the planet today. And I mean, buying a bidet is kind of the extreme, but buying a bamboo toothbrush, or saying, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna bring a fork from home when we go to the Dairy Queen. Why did I say fork? A spoon. You eat ice cream with spoons. That's stupid. I'm gonna take a spoon when I go to Dairy Queen. That's impact. And I actually found this amazing quote the other day from one of my most favorite humans of all time. And it said, the greatest role models for the planet are the people who stand up every day and say, I'm gonna do the most for the planet in the amount of time that I have. I'm gonna do the most that I can do with the most time that I have. And that's what it's all about. It's about making sure that in the capacity that you have, in the amount of money you have, in the ability that you have to make change, that each of you stand up and say, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make change, no matter how big no matter how small it is. And the person who said that quote is in the room. So you can get his autograph later if you want. So yeah, I really just hope you all know that the conversations that you're having today, they're not easy. You're asking more from the planet than what it gives to you sometimes. And that can't be easy at all. And sometimes, who's ever heard, you'll never work a day in your life if you do something you're passionate about? Who's heard that? Yeah, well, that's a myth. That's a myth. If you do what you're passionate about, it's going to be hard work because you care so much about it that you're going to want to see it through no matter what. So the road ahead is going to be really bumpy. It's going to be like the longest car ride ever. But that's when change happens. That's when things occur, when you're in it for the long run. And I promise you, the adults in this room, your teachers, your parents, they all thank you. I thank you, and our planet. Our planet thanks you so much for being here today. Keep that within you. Keep that special place that you love, that's fueling a lot of your energy today to be here. Keep that close. And I promise you that you will work so hard, but the planet is going to be in such good shape. So thank you guys so much. I'm around. I do a lot of cool stuff with young people, so if you're looking to get involved with different leadership opportunities, global leadership opportunities, speaking opportunities for the environment, please let me know. That's what I'm passionate about, so if I can connect you all with any of that, I would love to do that. And yeah, Facebook me, LinkedIn me, Instagram me, message me, DM me. I don't know what are the things you can do, but please connect because I am so inspired by all of you, and if I can help you out in any way, I would more than love to. So, thank you guys.
All right, thank you. Okay, sorry to tell you, we're still not done. We know you've been through a lot today, but what we're going to have you do is we're going to have you go back and get into groups with your schools, and we're going to have you guys talk about the takeaways from today and what you learned, and we want you guys to come up with your action plan that you're going to do when you get back to your school. So if everybody wants to get up and move by their school, we're going to take about 10 minutes, talk about it, and then choose somebody to represent your school, and then we're going to come around with a microphone, and we want to hear your action plans. All right, so hopefully you've all come up with your action plans, and hopefully you've chose who you want your representative to be for your school to talk about it. So who would like to go first? And if you could tell us what school you're from.
Actually, I heard that before when I went to college. I did not know who he was though, so kind of sad. I'm sorry. Okay, how you guys doing? I've seen most of your guys' faces today, but just want to tell you like what our plan is. All right, so I am from Seneca. This is like 40 minutes away. I am Stephen Barkis. That is my name. But all right, so our plan is our main focus is on recycling because we have our pollinator plot and our cichlid program already in action, and it's moving pretty swell and it's doing pretty good. But we have problems with our recycling program, and our waste management actually bailed on us, so to say. So our action first is to call waste management and basically tell them, ask them, not tell them, but we're going to ask them what are their thoughts on us bringing it back, we will do what it will take to so to say bring back our recycling program. But what we're going to do is I'm going to bring this to an analogy about Genghis Khan and the Mongols. So we have our senior class president, Mr. Till, over there. He's going to be our Genghis Khan. He's going to lead our army of the CIA to our admissions, our counselors and our advisors or principals, so to say. And we're going to enact that after our waste management program. After that, we are going to involve our other clubs / invade, but we're not going to take them over like the Mongols did. They took over most of the world, but we're going to involve most of the clubs, and we're going to get as many people as we can together to conquer over our communities, our local communities, and the state. And what we're going to do from there is we're going to raid everyone of their plastics, papers, and cardboards. And we are going to recycle and make this world a better place.
All right, thank you so much for sharing. Who would like to go next?
So I'm Paul Giordano. I'm a student at Pontiac. And the game plan that we came up with is we're just going to keep on keeping on because we've got Mr. Ritter over there leading us in a great direction. And each group has their own individual projects ranging from water testing to a pollinator plot to collecting shoes and sending them to a third world country.
You have no idea how proud I am right now.
All right, who's next?
I saw his hand.
All right, tell us your name, what school you're from.
Hi guys, my name is Charles Hong and I'm from Centennial High School.
Hi, I'm Allison. I'm Allison Reading. I'm a sophomore at Centennial High School.
So for our action plan, we came here not knowing really anything about how to project ourselves towards like the environmental cause, and we took a lot of great things back from all you guys' presentations. And we first wanted to go back in our action plan, going back to Centennial, was that we wanted to first organize ourselves. We wanted to come together and figure out how we wanted to do this sort of thing. And eventually we realized that by creating a club, we can then abuse other clubs in a sense. We can, one of our clubs, at our school we have like Interact, we have Science Honor Society, and we have all these different things. And our plan was to to use these groups and eventually pursue other environmental ideas. And I loved, one of my favorite things about the Warrior presentations was the recycling. And we wanted to put different recycling bins in our cafeterias, and as well as promote different things such as using posters in order to bring this idea to fruition.
So one of our ideas first was the posters, like what Charles said. So we have a group at school already that's kind of been working on this for the beginning of the year, but we've really only had a couple members so far. So having everybody from our school, well not everybody, but having this group from our school come today and learn about what y'all have been doing is really influential, because hopefully we can get like a bigger force going on this recycling project. And so hopefully we're gonna apply for some grants really soon once we become like an organized force, so that we can get some recycling bins for our school. Our main plan is to put them in the cafeteria and in the hallways, because those are our main areas of student population. Yeah.
Do we have any more?
Yep, right here. Some hands in the back.
Hands?
All right, come on, you guys. Rock and roll, rock and roll. Yeah.
I'm Alexa Kravitz from Rock High School, and one of our first ideas was creating a plot of land so that we could have plants for bees and monarchs.
I'm Samantha Trejo, and I really want to get more involved with other clubs. And our school has art gallery at our school, so students from art classes and art club can get involved. And we really think that we could bring more attention to science club and the environment by asking people that are a part of art club or art classes if they would like to create sculptures using recycled materials or kind of environmentally like inspired art. So maybe that could bring more attention to that, as well as fundraise for things like our water bottle project and our bench fund.
Hi, my name is Laura McLean. One other thing that we wanted to do was somehow encourage or allow our custodians to use environmentally friendly like cleaning products, and also use recycled like paper in our bathrooms. And then one other thing we wanted to do was encourage our Interact Club to use more environmental events, like environmentally friendly events, like cleaning up the quarries like we do, and making it something that we can encourage more people to do in our school. So let's make it a school-wide thing.
Oh, my dad. Here we go. If you don't take it yourself, is that now a taking? It's a taking. It's not a selfie. Okay, there you go. So it becomes a taking.
Hi, I'm Natalie Owens, and I'm a junior from Pekin Community High School, and we talked about when we collaborated was creating a club and getting together in the first place, because we right now only have 2 environmental science classes at our school, so we want to make more awareness for our class
class and creating an Earth Awareness Week at our school by setting up a booth and talking to students, getting involved, setting up a game plan, and probably meeting like once or twice a week to talk. And getting people aware of the changes we want to make at our school. Right now, this is the first semester we're implementing a program called Mentor Matching into our classroom, which is where we talk to a grad student or professors or people that work in the workforce who are centered around environmental change for our world. And we talk and collaborate around once a week. We set up projects that are led by students but are helped by people who are more advanced than us to get projects off the ground. So we want to create that, and we also want to get our 7 feeder schools, which are our junior highs, involved, so that way they know what they're bringing into when they become freshmen at our high school. So that's one of the changes we want to make as well.
Great job.
Who's next? Come on up.
Hi, my name is Brooke Paulson from Lockport Township High School. So some ideas we have to bring back to Lockport would be we want to do a pollinator plot potentially in one of our courtyards and plant maybe some like milkweed to help give a food source to the monarch butterflies. Another idea is we wanted to have, right now at Lockport we have a Humanities Week, which is focusing on different like diversity and cultures. We were thinking on the week of Earth Day, we wanted to do also like a environmental week where we would just inform students of like everything environmental from recycling to like different endangered species, and then maybe do like assemblies throughout and just different activities to inform the students. Another idea we had is we have almost half of our school's athletes, so we were thinking possibly of producing some sort of reusable water bottle for our athletes to use rather than plastic. And then our last idea was to make our hallways have like all trash cans, but we want to try and add more recycling bins and differentiate, the difference between trash and recycling at our school to help just inform people and encourage them to recycle more.
All right, we've heard a lot of great ideas here today. We're really happy that you guys enjoyed the summit, and we really hope that leaving here today, you're more confident in talking about the environmental issues that you have back in your communities. And we really hope that you feel comfortable now looking for your state representatives or people on your city council, and we really hope that you get in touch with them and tell them what is important to you, because it does matter. And you want to show them that you're not just some kid sitting back. No, you're here to teach them, because it is your time now.
Alright, so at our school, a couple of years ago, we got started with our alligator snapping turtles. These pretty cool things right here. And we've been raising them since they're really little. Yeah. We've been raising them, and then this is just one of our medium-sized ones, but once they get to a certain weight, we rehabilitate them into their natural habitat for them to begin to flourish again. We started with 0 in Illinois, and now we have 500, and we are still continuing on the process.
This is just one example of the things you could start back at your schools. I know that there are so many people at our school who play a part in helping out with the alligator snapping turtles, and we all love the projects we get to do here with Mr. Ritter. It's a very important part of our everyday lives, and we really hope you guys can start programs like this. important to us.
Okay, real quick, how about giving these girls a round of applause? Yeah, they've done a fantastic job. I've got to do this. Give your teachers a round of applause. It has not been easy to get you all here together, and I can tell you from the backside that there's been a lot of begging and asking and working and fixing, and you will never know how much went into getting you here, and we're thankful for that. We all are. So give yourselves a round of applause, please. You guys did a fantastic job. Amazing. So we're gonna finish some things up, but I want to real quick say thank you to everybody who made this happen, all the teachers, all the students. Miss Melly, where are you? There she is. She was the one that made this happen. I'm just the one that got to help her do it. But you have some parting gifts. Could you talk about that?
Yeah, that's a scary sight. Lamont High School really wants to thank Pontiac for hosting us today and for all the schools to come. And our Woods kids use repurposed woods, and we have a plaque for each of the schools to take home with our seal, Challenge Accepted, to put in your library or whatever works for you. So if a representative from each school could come on up, we'll pass those out. Paul?
All right, now in just a minute, we're going to have everybody put on their OES shirts and get on stage for a big picture with the banner. But first, we all need to give a huge hand to Mr. Ritter for planning all of this for about 10 hours, because he has worked his butt off, and this is his one true passion here. So thank you, Mr. Ritter, for everything.
Everybody up on stage, let's go, let's get this picture. My phone's dead.
quick, can I have this edge just crunch in a little bit more? Awesome, thank you.
Lauren down. There you go.
Great, and then if everyone wants to just look in the center.
Claire
one for just a
up.
sec.
Stop.
Somebody get that picture for me. God bless America. You people will never know what you have done. I promise you, it's so amazing. You have no idea. I'm so proud of you. In fact, you will never know what you've done today.
Cool, everybody give me like a big woo.